Hey guys, this is Cassie. In case you were expecting the bearded wonder that is my partner to be filling up your screens today, let me help you shift your focus. We're wanting to put out more details, more videos about the details of our business that have really changed the game for us. And so I'm going to be taking some time here to talk about CRMs. I know, it's everyone's favorite topic, right? But CRMs have literally changed the game for us. Now, I've built out a lot of CRMs over the course of our business. It's been a minute. We've used a few. And so this topic is actually really, really important to me. Um, it's an operational thing that I've focused on a lot over the years. It's been game changing for us. Now, our current CRM not being the only one we've used, being that I've built some out, I have a lot to say on this topic, right? That being said, if you are day one, this video is not for you. You do not require a beefy CRM, but if you are looking to level up your business, you're absolutely going to need one, and you're going to need the best one available to you and for your business. Now, we currently use RESimpli. There are a lot of reasons why we use RESimpli, and I can assure you that I was not an easy sale. They actually, I've said this before, they actually had to do a lot of work to get us to even look at it as a business. They were trying to get RJ, and he's like, look, you want to talk CRMs, you're going to have to win Cassie's heart over. So I actually was really skeptical at this point back in the day when we were having this conversation. It wasn't anything I was in a hurry to preview or talk about. We're really, really, really big on being authentic and showing people what we genuinely use. But there's a need for it in this space. And like I said, if you're looking to level your business up, this is for you. So today what I really want to talk about is why it's so important. I know RJ recently spoke on this in that, like, sure, it's an organizational thing, and organizing your leads, your statuses are really important. And yeah, I believe in that, but there's a lot of places I can organize information and projects, right? And we have used some of those in the past and some really good ones that I've built out. I've also built one out on my own that never really made it to product. And so I do understand a lot of like the coding things, even though I could never do it. The design things, the tech things, even though I could never do it. I'm just the user, right? I do understand how complicated that can get. So I think that, one of the first reasons that I even actually took a look at RESimpli was because I did not want to be the person anymore. I did not have the bandwidth. It wasn't the best use of my time in my business to be creating all the features in our CRM, even when it was overlaid on another platform. So this was the first reason that piqued my interest in RESimpli, right? Now we've used other ones in the past where that was not necessarily the case, but I still almost had to like play this design role, right? And I know that there's this need in this space for business owners that really need some of these extra features, but they just shouldn't. And I wouldn't recommend that they be designing their CRM or learning how to build a lot of these features out in a software. A lot of what RESimpli has, I wouldn't even be able to build out, right? So all that to say, this is a topic that's like actually really important in my opinion. And so I just really want to go ahead and cover, probably in a multi-part series over the course of time. Let's just say it that way. We want to kind of highlight, some of our favorite things and how we operate our CRM and why these things are so important. So today I'm going to talk about staying in front of your leads, and one of the vital parts of RESimpli that I think is kind of to be expected by some people, I guess, when you're having a CRM where you have the ability to, stack list and skip trace and import your leads and so on and so forth and kind of create these marketing campaigns and track your KPIs. But I think for me, one of the big kickers has definitely been the follow-up campaigns and automations and the AI in that regard. Here's why. We don't actually lean heavily on technology to talk to parties in a deal, for example, for us. We don't over automate our system, but I can tell you, we maximize our lead efficiency because we do have a couple of these installed, right? Now, what do I mean by that? That means that if we like the manual labor, right? We want them to talk to a person. There are AI features in RESimpli that we love, and there's some that we don't heavily use. That's just a fact, right? Here's the reason why. I really want sellers to be on the phone with a person. So to have an AI summary that is beefier on that call is fantastic. But I don't necessarily want, you know, a seller to call into my company and it go to a robot, right? Going to a robot that passes it on to a real live person, a closer, is what's important to me. These are all things that RESimpli can do. But I want that to come directly to a closer, right? So our follow-up campaigns, we just don't have a lot of statuses organized in our business where we're having somebody automatically reach out to them. We manually do that up into a certain amount of time that we have never reached the seller until we actually start to send out an automated message. Why is that important? It's coming from, you can set it up to come from different numbers. You can set it up to have these text messages, read differently, set them up to stay in front of that seller and taking away some of the manual efforts when a lead has an age or a status that is no longer the best use of time. In other words, your human labor is going to be spent, your closers, the closers on your team, their time is going to be spent on the phones talking to real sellers who are really motivated and they're ready to go, right? That's where you want your business space to be in. So this is why I think it's vitally important that you can have these types of features, but how you use them is everything, right? You can talk about it in an organizational category, but realistically speaking, you're not over automating, over AI on your business. And this is what I love about RESimpli. You don't have to become an expert, at creating a CRM or building one out or building in features that are hosted on some other platform that you can customize it, but you don't have to add features that don't already exist. You don't have to go hire somebody out to add these features in for you. The RESimpli team will help you install them. We also work heavily with the RESimpli team on, developing a lot of key features that we want to see for additional stuff. So I look forward to continuing to talk to you guys about this. But for me, it's these follow-up campaigns that you build up a certain pipeline in your business. And if you have a team under you, this is a great way for you to ensure that no lead goes neglected. So when a lead we just closed a deal, I'm pretty sure that was a lead that entered our system 3 years ago that followed up with us. So when I say that these kinds of campaigns are vitally important to the organization of how you stay in front of your sellers, I mean it. And I'm not just talking about the statuses, I'm talking about the ability to set it up so you can stay in front of your sellers. And it also is going to track that information. You're not going to have to input it manually. It's going to track that information right there on your lead. You know, there's a lot of CRMs that I have used that either did that very poorly, or you'd have to enter a lot of this stuff manually, or you'd have to set certain triggers off. And look, I get it. Like, there's ways to do this in other CRMs or other ways to organize your leads. But once you get to a certain level and you have certain amount of pipeline and leads built up over time, you're missing money if you're not using a feature like this in a system where it works this efficiently, right? Having that all in one space has been a game changer for us. And it's something I would absolutely have required to be in any CRM that I was even going to consider putting my stamp of approval on to the public, much less use internally in our business. So, as far as that goes, if you guys are in that position where you're looking to get more information about what you should look for in a CRM, definitely let us know in the comments. I have a lot to say about this topic, and I think it is pretty crucial. And I know it's not for everybody yet, but hopefully, if you're following this channel, it will be for you eventually, because this is one of the things that has been a game changer for us. This is one of the things that helps us stay on top of, our maximizing our lead potential and our lead spend, much less our closings. So, um, that's it for today, guys, on this topic. And I hope you enjoy it because I got a lot more to say. So if you really like it, let me know because I got a lot of CRM stuff I can dig into. I think that there's a real need for us to have these discussions in this space. But ultimately, you guys who are watching these videos determine that. So please be sure to let me know. And we'll see you next time.